Hello, Professor Bright here, and I've applied that classical strategy of loading and unloading the game in order to deal with our aggressors here. Welcome back to the Sunless Skies. Technically, welcome to the border between the skies and the sea. And I see some other things in the darkness there. Oh. Oh my. The Superlapsarians. There's a name. And knowing that there's something there... Ooh, it makes me want to change something. But I can't due to my hull space, I don't think. Wait. I can, I already did. Haha! Oh, for God's sake, why? Well. Good. I didn't want to see that anyway. Okay. Well, we traded one terror for another. And our hull is in even worse condition than when we started 10 seconds ago. But this is fine. Our only goal is to make it back to London, and I think I chose the longest possible path back to London. Good. I'm glad. No. No, sir. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, no. Why are these scribe spinsters here? No, seriously, like, why are you here, though? Like, aren't you entirely a reach thing? That was the opinion I had. Oh, right, that's one of those things I could butcher in theory, but also... Whew, boy, it looks like those tendrils from that... Well, no. Last episode we saw a... Well, what looked like a fluke. Over that way. And they don't have... Oh, just perfect. Exactly what I wanted. Pay your respects, get out. Oh, cool. Well, a hush falls as coffins pass by the window. The silence is broken by an insistent scraping against the hull. When the coffins is floated too close. A few words are necessary to assuage your crew's unease. You remind all present that were it not for the competence and efficiency of all aboard, a cold grave in the sky might have been all your fates. Also, I don't know what that giant bat is. I don't want to deal with it, though. Oh, good. It tracks. I was hoping. Well... Fuck me, I guess. Let's just throw every threat out there at us. Why not? Oh boy, I think I have guesses as what that might be. Could be related to the masters. Well, the curators, rather. I'm gonna always think of them as the masters because that's where I was first exposed to those particular creatures. Master Irons... Master... Oh, I used to know them all. There's Master Grains. It's been a long time. Was it Master Grains or Master something else? Mr. Wines was one. Also, I cannot get even slightly involved in all this. Oh boy. Like, I am all sorts of tempted, but... Fuck off. Oh, fuck off. Okay. So we're taking a bit of a roundabout way back to London. You know, I could go to the Most Serene Mausoleum, and I have really no reason not to go at this point, besides the fact that my whole situation is disastrous. It's a thought. I could try to push through that, but... that seems like a bad choice. In fact, this seems like a bad choice as well. For those reasons. I'm sorry? The thing on the mantelpiece. You're in possession of a certain otherworldly artifact. It's begun to appear persistently in your dreams. Never prominent, but always present. Sat innocuously on a mantelpiece, half hidden in a shadowed corner. carried casually by a loved one. This is tempting, a very tempting offer. Offer it to the Waste Waif, though. The Waif is one of the gods that Skyfarers pray to. It takes an interest in outcasts and the lost, and tends winds as a shepherd tends sheep. We can hope for the best. I wonder if there's a way to increase my fortune. Great, I gained terror instead. Return, making your way to an exterior hatch, you cast the artifact out, and spit vigorous curses after it. The winds pluck it away. But when you return to your cabin, there it is, sat smugly on your bedside table. Are those frosty fingerprints on the base? I mean, part of me says thank you for bringing it back, but also part of me is not doing great. Is not doing great. I think you just increase terror, which causes other problems right now. Consider? Sky Story. Go to the mausoleum or go to London. I feel like this is a choice that could kill us either way. You know, it occurs to me that the mausoleum does decrease terror. And it occurs to me that this place will get me killed. Fuck off. Fuck off with all this. Oh, fucking hell. Okay. You're not gonna bother me, and I'm not gonna bother you. That's how this is gonna work. By the way, don't know if I mentioned this, but if this captain dies, we're setting that difficulty down. Like, I'm making that a hard and fast rule at this point. And gotta hope it's been long enough that we can get that terror reset over at London, because otherwise, well, I might be instating that rule a little bit earlier than expected. Or rather, executing on that rule. Actually, I don't know exactly what you call it when you enforce. Yes, enforce the rule. There we are. A little bit earlier than expected, because, all these things are bad. All these things are bad. Everything could kill me. I should have smashed that damn artifact. It was a mistake to let it live. But it was valuable. Or at least, in theory, it could be valuable. Speaking of, we still have at least 2 places to find. Kind of concerned. We have Perdurance to find, and then the Royal Society, as I recall? If memory serves, which it might or might not. Depends on the day, as the last of my food used up. Okay, guys, we're in civilized space. We can just, hold off on eating each other. All will go perfectly well. Just gotta not eat each other for maybe another day. Probably less than that, really. You are tempting to murder. But I cannot, no matter how much I may want to. I mean, crew are starving. We're shivering. I got extra terror. Turns out, my hearts aren't high enough to deal with all that. So at 86%, we're gonna find out if we're gonna live or not. Fuck me for trying. There we go. That's a big amount of terror dealt with. Hi, Auntie. What does she require? A savage secret. Oh, I think we can do that. Dear God. Somehow she's found her way to the high wilderness. She's trying to get your attention with a frantic waving of her horrible hat. I know you've seen me. Listen, I've quite exhausted my possibilities here. I'm a serviceable quartermaster. I have friends everywhere, and my scones are to die for. How is that for curriculum vitae? Now, let me aboard. Is she even your real aunt? Either way, you'll have to deal with her. Employ your aunt as your quartermaster. Filial piety demands as much, and she does make a damn fine scone. And increases my irons by 6 and mirrors by 2, so yes, thank you. She smiles with sincere delight. Here, take my bag. Her bag is very heavy. And my hat. Her hat is also very heavy. Your crew are alarmed when she boards your engine. Their alarm only increases when she begins to pass comment. After a thorough survey of your locomotive, she graces you with a smile. There is work to be done. She's extracted gossip from you before she's even boarded. This woman is skilled. As any member of my family should be. Now, more importantly, Let me see. What opportunities are there? None. Cool. Perfect. Exactly what I was hoping for. Alright, so we're gonna have to unload all this. I do want to keep at least... 2? Yes. Oh, well, we have plenty of hours, it seems. Or did that just copy over? I'm mildly concerned about that. Still, let me go ahead and go to the market and sell a bunch of stuff, because I need to make money. A lot of money. A lot of money. So, now that we're down to... What? Oh, right, I still have that cargo bay in the hold. Well, yes. I mean, I know it looks like we have a lot of money, but not gonna last for long. Repair the locomotive. All the locomotive. Thank you. And I'm curious. Investigate rumors around underground. I needed to keep my savage secret. Oh well. A pity. But, I mean, ultimately, the Aunt is helpful in that she gets me more stats, which helps prevent, well, death. Oh, no, not here. No. Spitalfields, please. At least 5 of each, I think will get me where I need to go. I think that will do. 1 extra supply would be nice. Alright. Now the question is, where do we go exactly? Explore a little bit. Oh, hello. The aristocrat stuck at the avid horizon mentioned a brother responsible for his predicament. Tell me more. A doppelganger. It takes some time to track down someone resembling the aristocrat. The sooty slums are empty of any fallen nobility. The grand houses close their doors to you. It is as if London would prefer all detainees of the avid horizon to remain there. You've all but given up when you receive a note to meet in the Crown Jewel. A distinguished gentleman sits by the fire. His porcelain features a flawless mirror of his brother's. He intimates a litany of unsavory habits and hobbies possessed by his younger sibling. Calumny in the nursery. Scandal in boarding school. Horror in the Young Stags Club. He would very much prefer it if his brother were to stay where he was. Not something I'm worried about. I didn't intend to, well, help that person. It seemed rather distasteful, if you don't mind me saying. Now, as to where we will be going, I need to actually look at my journal real quick. Because they're not in my hold. Where... Oh. I'm sorry, if you haven't been already assigned. It needs to be done. Oh, but I need my Tales of Terror. She's taken over one of your nicer cabins, which she has ruthlessly redecorated. There's a preponderance of ugly ornaments balanced precariously on tiny tables. Hideous anti-mask scars adorn every available surface. Your aunt occupies a felt armchair in the center of the horror, where she spends her time either knitting or solving truly mind-boggling cryptic crosswords. I have a few aunts that are kind of like this. Had a few aunts. Still have a few. Anyway, converse with your inconvenient aunt. I'm rather busy, she insists. Perhaps if you tell her something ghoulish, she'll pay attention to you. An evening's entertainment. Good lord, are you alright? She immediately bakes you a batch of scones. She doesn't even comment on the order in which you apply the jam and the cream. I know what will cheer you up, she says briskly. I've been invited to a little soiree by Bunty. She pauses, an old school friend. I think she's head of the deniable constables now. You'll come with me, won't you? It'll take your mind off things. She considers for a moment. I must warn you, it's a very particular evening. Old enmities put aside, that sort of thing. It's at Carillon. I mean, we can go there eventually. Not today, but eventually. But this secondment, you see. Listen to Auntie's suggestion. She's been baking up a storm. This usually means she wants something. Possible employment for an aunt. Ooh. Just an idle thought, she says, presenting you with a new batch of sourdough loaves. She frowns at the consistency of the bread as though she expects it to get its act together sharpish. But if you wish to make use of my full arsenal of talent, you might want to grant me shore leave at the most serene mausoleum. Her eyes gleam behind her horn-rimmed spectacles. I have ideas. But if you think I'm more valuable aboard your engine, that's up to you. I mean, for now, but eventually I might just leave you there. See what she's up to exactly. A smell of baking wafts through your locomotive. Uninvited. It emerges that your aunt is holding a tea party for those of your crew plagued with bad dreams. You're not invited. It's nothing personal, dear. They just won't be able to speak freely if their captain can hear. They know they can always trust Auntie to keep a secret. She closed the door. Fair. Also, isn't her whole thing, well, gossiping kind of her thing? Yeah. Not sure I would trust her with any secrets, but then I'm not my crew. They make bad choices all the time, like joining me, for example. Let's see, where would I be if I were both a Royal Society and a... well, what perdurance is? It is late, and you are alone. Doubts prey on you. This is the path you should have taken. You trespass upon the very precincts of heaven. What price will be exacted of you? What price have you already paid? Endure this lean, cruel hour. I have no time to spend stories there, and I need more tales of terror, so there we are. Alright. A little bit more of that, and we will be all good to go. That terror situation's a little bit troublesome, but I'll just have to keep an eye on it. Be very careful with it. Very, very careful indeed. But still, it should be fine. In the grand scheme of things, all will be well. You aren't any guests, are you? Good. Although I don't think we've been formally introduced to the guests, so... Maybe if I see some again, I'll attempt to kill them. I am rather tough at the moment. Could sharpen the teeth on this locomotive a bit, but, well. Next trip, next batch of money. Oh, I forgot to sell my port reports. I always do that. Too far gone at this point. Besides, if I build up more port reports, I should get a better reward from the ministry. In theory. Not entirely sure that is going to be the case, but, I say. Yeah, just shooting at the darkness. Don't worry about it. Yeah, that's rocks, though. That's rocks. Let me see if I can go south and through. Part of me wants to see the sun, but part of me also wants to keep this captain alive, so... I'm sorry? Well, a sudden jolt. I think we hit something, Professor, your driver observes. You missed so thick you could turn back and search for it? Or offer whatever it was to the waste waif. The waste waif occupies abandoned places. It is lonely, but spurns company. It likes toys. Wow, I just keep pissing off gods. Trust no gifts, the superstitious Stoker once remarked. Everything crosses your path, I'll offer it up. On this occasion, though, maybe the offering was not to the god's taste. You glimpse leviathan shapes moving through the fog. Well, try to shake the corpse off. Yes. Problems are starting to arise. Still, it's early. We only have the one nightmare. It's fine. I just need to save up a lot of money that I'm constantly spending. Good. All will be well. Eventually. What you got out there? Ah, you found another port. Perfect. Which one, though? Who did they exile this away? Because, I mean... It looks distinctly, well... unhealthsome to be here. Is the Royal Society? Someone else? Curious. Curious. Also, I do need to find where the other... Yeah, so where the other... What's the proper term for these? Junctions? Relays? Relays. Yeah, where the next relay is. Specifically for... oh dear, I'm forgetting the name. Another region, not the Blue Kingdom. Started with an E. Oh my. It's gonna bother me until I remember it. Maybe a stop to the floating parliament would do us some good? Maybe, or I could just, get a better look at the clockwork sun and see what's there. Well, I must say, getting to whatever port this is going to be a bit of a pain in the ass later. Unless maybe there was a way in there, which there probably was. But, well. Hello, you. Yeah, you just keep on going. Go to where you can do no harm. No harm to me. You want to harm anybody else, I mean, go ahead, not my problem. Look at that glow. No. Just a little bit of unimportant glow. That doesn't mean I can mine stuff. Evidently. Irrigators spray out plumes of misty water, preserving the oasis in the heart of the dusty Ormswold. Interesting. Trying to preserve the flora of this place. The Royal Society. Perfect. And level up. So, with our stats as they are, I'm inclined to get a little bit more balance in my life. So, Secret Symposium. Yes. In a midnight lecture hall, a cadre of masked experts gather to present papers on a subject the Ministry had forbidden. Prohibited theories were shared, research partnerships born. You continue to correspond in code on the matters debated. What was the topic of the symposium? A forensic assessment of the sun's remains. Following London's relocation, the new astronomy has become a crucial, well-funded discipline. But the fate and physiology of Albion's dead sun are strictly barred from study. Oh, but I must know. You can give me no more hints. Oh. But I want to know. Perhaps they can. Perhaps. The Eyrie. Pretty mansions of stone and glass rise above the verdant gardens, while below machines whir and groan. A persistent sound of hammering pounds through the air. Mr. Menagerie is passing through the Royal Society. Oh, I must see. I may not be able to afford, but I can at least see them. Could purchase a diffident bat. But what I'm more here for, if you had just, if I had one more savage secret. Bah. Oh well. But no, listen to a story of things past. Mr. Menagerie is keen to tell you a tale from its collection, but requires payment first. Charity is a crime, but punishment severe. The Wild Delights. Mr. Menagerie gestures to the Ormswold, out beyond the cozy confines of the Royal Society. Old ground, hunting ground, when wings spread free and soared, and we were indigo in tooth and claw. Are those teeth you can see below the hood? When the skies were young, when we were young. Our bargains were savage, our hunts were sacred. We lifted all wings, our appetites naked. All gone now. Times change. Things change, time takes all. Acquire nothing. You won't be purchasing a new scout today. But soon enough. Mr. Menagerie nods its head. We're moving elsewhere soon, but we will leave a note saying where we have gone. We'll have more things to show and stories to tell. It turns away, humming an eerie tune to itself as it gathers up its things for the next leg of the journey. And let me see this note. We go to the throne of the Hour King. The throne of the Hour King. A sun, clearly, obviously. Perhaps someplace in the Blue Kingdom? Perhaps. It's not something I would be familiar with. This celestial exhibition, though. To the delight of mostly himself, the Mellifluous President is planning an exhibition in the Royal Society. Oh, I could donate things. Things that are very expensive, and so I don't want to, but, well, were I so inclined. I do have a few uncanny specimens, don't I? Oh, just the one, never mind. No, thank you, but no. The Royal Society. The words Nullius in Verba are written across the stonework above the great bronzewood doors. Her renewed majesty has granted these grounds to the finest minds in Albion to work here. Their purview is to invent, to hypothesize, to discover, and most crucially, to watch the stars. Introduce yourself at Airy House. The Royal Society welcomes careful captains. An offer of work. The Mellifluous President greets you. He directs your attention to the new marble on the floors, to the cheerful portraits of distinguished Royal Society members lining the hallway, and finally to the very large portrait of himself in his plush library. We do like captains here at the Royalettes. We need our space and, frankly, our comforts to think, but it is you brave souls who do the real legwork. Extremely educational. If not, our gardens are extremely fine, as is our conversation and the port. Yes, a port report, please. Someone will be interested in what they're getting up to here. The Royal Society hums with activity. The preparations for a new wing of the Airy House are in motion. The Mellifluous President is convening another committee to continue the renovations of the gardens. The astronomers are excited about a star of burnished amber seen far to the east. The Rochester Club, regrettably, continues at high speeds. Wander the gardens. The Royal Society have left their gardens to run wild, though an attempt was made at some point to tame them. Thankfully a success. Into the green. The gardens were an early attempt by the Society to stamp their mark upon the sky. More interesting avenues for scientific exploration quickly presented themselves, however, and the gardens were left to run wild, half-tamed. The overgrown gardens are beautiful but hazardous to the casual walker. You, however, are a veteran rambler. The haha is no obstacle to your fearless tread. The follies neither deceive nor divert you from your path. You can tell from a mile off the bog is a bad idea. You find yourself in a pleasant, faux classical temple, dedicated to the suns. Someone has left something behind. Might I ask what? A triple-locked case. Chains and clasps hang like garlands across this expensive-looking case. A plundered hoarder. Oh. It takes bolt cutters and wire clippers and lockpicks, at least one hammer, and a whole hour, but at last it is unlocked. The case lid falls open and out spills a scarlet radiance, slow and inexorable as red wine on a carpet. Revealed inside are a hoard of stones, red sapphire and ruby and other wilder gems. These are neverantine, said to be the cooling sparks of creation's forge. A curious thing. Well, let's go further. Visit this Mellifluous President. He intimated there might be work for industrious skyfarers. Hello, Captain. Do come in, come in. The Mellifluous President steeples his fingers. On his desk, a metal suns suspended from silver flames clack in the breeze. Now, are you here about work, or do you consider the term vulgar as well? I send reports back to London periodically, but we can't be everywhere. So much to do, so little time. Places of particular solar activity will do nicely. Ah. From the House of Rods and Chains. Curious. We would receive any information you have with avid pleasure. Huh. Yeah, if I get a port report from the Clockwork Sun, I'm gonna come back here, obviously. Bid him goodbye. Cheerio. Curious. Ah, here we are. Other places to go, but first. The Bazaar. Oh, you beautiful, beautiful fellows. Oh, but I don't have enough space. But that can be resolved, Just give us a moment. Just a touch more than what I had. A pity. But it should, I believe, be enough for the sun? Yes. Perfect. Very good, very good, very good. Alright, yes, a disheveled research associate sells caddies of dry tea from an oak chest. Due to an unfortunate but entirely understandable administrative error, the professor's entire research budget has been spent on tea. She explains, shuffling her feet awkwardly. Please buy some. Oh, you poor fellow. Carefully packed crates of munitions, though. Interesting that scholars would have that, but neither here nor there. To Nell's Tower, please. The Royal Society's observatory is named for King Charles's canniest mistress. Nell's Tower is the jewel in the Society's crown. Arriving at Nell's Tower, a sign on the door in neat copper plate reads, Nell's Tower closed for the 13th annual Airy Dinner. Leave urgent business at doorstep. There's a polite cough at your shoulder. Turning, you see a tall man with a beard like a nest of vipers. The supercilious bursar introduces himself. I came to round up stragglers, but as a captain you are of rank sufficient to attend the dinner, if you wish to attend. Of course, there will be port, Captain. If you say so. Oh, I see. The dinner is held in the mahogany and marble imperial dining room of Airy House. Every piece of dinner service is mismatched, and both the furniture and the personages in the room are pleasantly rumpled. The supercilious bursar brings you to the high table, where the 3 senior astronomers of Nell's Tower are holding court. They're introduced to the senatorial professor, the chair for the effulgent sciences, and the lecturer for imperial affairs as the first course is served. Dine on the game pie. It is ample and succulent, its flesh lightly roasted. The meat is rich as the Burgundy Reach wines popular in the salons of London these days. It's been cooked in its own juices. Now the flesh is as tender as the reassurances of one of Magdalene's attendants. Cantankerous, don't you know, the lecturer in Imperial Affairs remarks, slicing into her own portion. The first course ends with a great smacking of lips and a general feeling of goodwill towards the chef. And extra supplies for me, so yay. The supercilious bursar passes the dish of butter potatoes with an oily smile. The conversation continues, lubricated by Herculean quantities of port. Butter potatoes, roast squirmings, and sautéed Hybrian mushrooms are devoured in between rhetorical thrusts. I mean, I know what I'm all about. Talk to the chair for the effulgent sciences. Her eyes are wild, she has savaged the potatoes. Conversation rambles, but her language is poetry. My kind of lady. She interrupts you repeatedly to make this point or that. At first, these feel like random interjections, but by the end, she's refuting points you made at the start of the course and anticipating your jokes with wild-eyed delight. I've always been in love with the heavens. It's all the biography you get from her, however. The second course ends with a lecturer in imperial affairs, telling a rather ribald joke and a hearty toast to the continued health of all present. Sherbets produced in London's sweet shops, sponge cake from the Admiral Nelson on Port Prosper, clotted cream and actual strawberries grown in the gardens, more port. The conversation grows looser, the story is more risque. The supercilious bursar leans in conspiratorially. I arranged these dinners to promote unity, you understand, and of course for the good memory of our previous president, who nobly argued for the introduction of the society to the wilderness, and convinced her majesty of our utility. He toasts the large portrait of Airy that dominates the room. Again. Talk to the chair for the effulgent sciences. She is drawing something on the napkin. A question of precedent. Are those limbs rays? She smiles widely. Something I saw last time I was permitted to use our great scope. Honestly, what's the point if we have to ask permission every time we move it? Did Isaac Newton need King Charlie's permission to discover gravity? The third course comes to a close with a great groaning, and heartfelt but false protestations that one couldn't possibly manage cheese and biscuits after all this. The supercilious bursar leans in as the plates are cleared away. Before we adjourn, there's the question of patronage to consider. All eyes are on you. A hush falls over the table. The 3 faces of the astronomers are turned to you. The supercilious bursar continues as though nothing has changed. Our telescope is operated only by the will of the government. We are not allowed to move the telescope without permission. A bold skyfarer, such as yourself, might obtain such permission, or at least an official-looking document that could be conceivably construed as permission. Our astronomers would be very much interested in patronizing you. You bring them a permit, they can advance their researches. In exchange, they'll teach you what they know. And I am all about that effulgent science. The wild-eyed astronomer, specializing in the habit of the stars, will be your patron. I mean, I don't particularly care for London, nor... well, the blindfolded, cantankerous astronomer of old London? No. This one, yes. Tell me more about the stars, please. She lets out a high laugh, wild as the shrieks of the bat-winged curators that ride the celestial wings. And ride the celestial winds, rather. I'll show you such things, Captain. Come to the tower, do, and make sure you have a permit. I will, just not today, I'm afraid. Yes, the Rochester Club. Tell me about that. A cozy country house bolted onto the side of the society's glass houses and overgrown lawns. This is the meeting place of the infamous Rochester Racing Club. Brandy glasses gleam on the shelves, polished brass fixtures abound. A fire roars in the hearth. Members sit in comfortable armchairs comparing war stories. Parts salvaged from broken trains adjourn the walls. Inquire into joining the Rochester Club. You are, after all, a captain of the skies. Proving yourself, the dismal debutante curls her lips. The boisterous harridan cackles. The current Lord Rochester laughs gamely before abruptly stopping. Oh, you are serious? He coughs to conceal his embarrassment. Well, should you really wish to join our merry company, you'll have to prove yourself a proper racer. The careless deviless in her smoked velvet jacket appraises you carefully. You'll need to prove your mettle, my dear. Win one of our races and we'll be happy to admit you. Well then, why not? The thundering terror of the Sunless Skies. The Rochester races are the competitive sport of choice at the Royal Society, and I would see what they want me to do. Easy. Lord Rochester claps you on the back. Good sport, that. The rules are simple. Get to the destination port and back here in 30 days. Then you can call yourself a true Rochester racer, savvy? He calls for order in the club room and gathers the other racers around. A quick toast is raised to your health, and it's on with the race. I mean, this'll be trivial, let's be honest. Floating Parliament's just a little bit to the south. He'll be fine. He'll be fine, probably. Portsmouth House, though. Yes. The workshops under the area are known collectively as Portsmouth House. The glass and brick factories are staffed by harassed inventors and engineers, working constantly to produce the next advancement in adventuring equipment. Let's see about the arsenal. Smoke and soot, glass and steel. The ringing of hammers on metal, the swearing of engineers, the acrid scent of sweat. Here in the bowels of Portsmouth House, the scientists of the Royal Society work to produce experimental designs for daring captains. A team of engineers led by the energetic mechanic are excited to get to work on whatever you'll pay them for. Yes, here you can convert goods to experimental modifications which can be exchanged for unique equipment. And I do have an awful lot of things that could be... Yes. But what, though? But before we get into that, peruse the designs. What have the finest minds in Albion come up with? The Montresor Chamber? 50 veils, can't do that. The Rossetti cabins, I would need to advance my hearts quite a bit, but I would find that useful. The amniotic crew containment, Well, could do, no, though. This requires hearts. Veils, no. No, veils at 25, damn it. Does none of this require mirrors? Oh, there we are. A forward-mounted cannery that affords the bridge crew an excellent view as your prey is filleted. Carmilla is a cannery that is unusually mounted in the bridge slot, which, as far as I can tell, is basically useless to me right now. It requires your mirrors is at least 25 and increases your armor by 5, which, not the best of choices, but how much does it require exactly? 9 experimental modifications. I mean, of my options, it's frankly the one I'm going to be most capable of, though. But this... I want it so badly. Well, actually, no, not that much. It's only hold by 4. Yeah, so really just this cannery is the only thing I would be looking at, and possibly this. Actually, definitely this. I need to get my veils up to 25, though. That's a little bit dicey, but could be done. Let's see what I have. Let me see what I can do now. Okay, specimens, I seem to be finding those quite a bit. A condemned experiment, I have 2 of them. So, why not one of you? Perhaps they'll find a use for it. The energetic mechanic's eyes widen and they begin to grin. Goodness, it's been some time since I got my hands on something like this. The mechanic's fingers twitch reflexively. I shall tell Albert to lay out my things and clear my schedule for the next, week. How about... No. I could give up both my otherworldly artifacts. Much more than willingly. Possible the engineers have never seen this before. A rattle, a sudden crack, an unfortunate tinkling. I'll just put this down over here, shall I? Yes, do that. And now that we have enough modifications, let me see about this... Yes, the Carmilla. Please. Thank you. The energetic mechanic wheels the complicated knot of Carmilla out to your engine. Do be careful, it's a rather bloodthirsty thing. The mechanic looks worried. It came to me, unbidden, in a dream. I think it has a mind of its own. Well, that's concerning, but let me just put that on there and we are good to go. Yes. Alright, so I don't know if that was the best use of my resources, but a little bit of extra toughness, plus access to butchery. I think that was worth it. What else we have at the workshops? Oh. Here the Society constructs specialist equipment to further the Society's explorations, blend armaments, and the occasional Sky Captain's adventurers. Visit the Inscribed Tinkerer, the most famous or notorious engineer associated with the Royal Society. The Inscribed Tinkerer likes her workbench tidy and her tea as strong as the devil's opinions. She believes in iteration of technology of society of people, and her inventions are intended to mitigate specific dangers and obstacles of the high wilderness. Her tea-stained notebook bulges with blueprints, and her skin is covered in inky treatments of the correspondence. She raises an eyebrow as you enter her office. Thank God, I was in need of a break. The Inscribed Tinkerer can provide truly exceptional equipment from her shop if she likes you. I mean, if it's work you're after, Captain, I can be of assistance in that department. So, tell me. I see. Well. The Inscribed Tinkerer produces a slim notebook, the correspondence, Captain, the incandescent language, the pentecostal tongues of the stars. She invites you to examine the broken sigils that score her skin, mirrored in her notebook. I've heard of a unique sigil I've not come across before. It's been cited by students in Trader's Wood, by an old friend in the mausoleum, and by my least favorite person in Pan. As a captain, you could get to those places and confirm the sighting. I'll give you access to a few of my unique designs should you wish to help. I wish I knew what those unique designs were. Talk to the engineers. Perhaps they'll be willing to furnish your locomotive with advanced equipment. The senior engineer marches across the smoggy workshop floor to meet you. Well, she barks, sorry, I mean hello. We're frightfully busy. We've examining the effects of vitrification on Murgatroyd's tea. We've just had a breakthrough. There's a gentle explosion behind her, followed by the tinkle of shattering glass. Sorry, mustache. Do visit the Arsenal if you're looking for something special. I mean, I am, but, well, we have other works to do. Next episode, we're going to be making a quick trip to the Floating Parliament, then back to the Royal Society, then tea to the Clockwork Sun, and back to London. Yes, and then, I mean, it might be time to, well, we will go from there. But for now, thank you for your time. Note the like, comment, and subscribe buttons below. Use them responsibly, and I will see you all soon.